Now we'll see the disease of the skeletal system. So the disease of the skeletal system involves so many diseases which are occur because of the deficiency, because of the accidents, injuries and so on. So alteration in the disease of bones and joint. So first is the disease of bones and the joints. So first is the osteoporosis. Osteoporosis, it is the deformity of the bones, in that bones are become weak and brittle. If your bones are become weak and brittle, they are easily breakable. So the chances of fracture is high in the osteoporosis. Next one is the Paget's disease. It is the Paget's disease, in that what happened? It is the disease of bones tissue. Generally what happens, on a periodical intervals, the old tissues of the bones are replaced by the new bone tissue. But in the Paget's disease, the old tissues are not destroyed, so that the new tissues are not formed. So that is the Paget's disease occur in the bones. Next one is the rickets and osteomalacia. Rickets is these both disease is the occur in the bones because of the deficiency of vitamin D. Rickets is the disease which may found in the children's, occur because of the vitamin D deficiency, whereas in the osteomalacia this disease is found in the adults, especially to the females. In this, bones become soft, so they are easily breakable. Next one is the osteomyelitis. So this is the inflammation of the bones tissue. Now developmental abnormalities of the bones. So achondroplasia. Achondroplasia, that means the short and long bone. So at one bone, that is a long, and another, suppose we are talking about the lower extremity bone. So the one leg is, the bones of one leg is bigger compared to the opposite leg. So that is known as the achondroplasia. Next one is the osteogenesis imperfecta. That means imperfect formation of bone. During the fetal life, if the bones are not properly formed, if the production or if the structure of bone is not proper during the birth time, it may lead to the osteogenesis imperfecta. Okay, osteogenesis, that is the formation of the bone process. Okay, it is a process of bone formation. So that's why it is known as the imperfection or imperfect formation of the bones. Next is the tumor of bones. So in the bones, two types of tumor are occurring, benign tumor and the malignant tumor. Malignant tumor, that is cancerous. That will be the abnormal growth of cell is taking place, that is a malignant tumor. Next are the disorders of joints. So there are the joints, as we have seen so many joints like hip, knee, ankle, then shoulder, elbow, wrist, joints in the skull. So there are so many joints we have seen. So in these all joints, the disorders are come. First, there is a rheumatoid arthritis. That is the inflammatory joint disease. In the rheumatoid arthritis, the inflammation of joint has taken place, and because of the inflammation, it is a painful. There are some other types of polyarthritis like ankylosing spondylitis. Spondylitis is occur at the shoulder joint. Because of the heavy lifting, the muscles of shoulders are teared and because of that there will be the inflammation of the joint, that is known as a spondylitis. Then psoriatic arthritis, Reiter's syndrome, and rheumatic fever. Reiter's syndrome is generally found in the wrist joint, so that's why it is known as the Reiter's syndrome. Then rheumatic fever, infective arthritis, that is the infectious, and if the infection occur in the one joint, it may spread to the other joints, that's why it is known as the infective arthritis. Osteoarthritis, specially found in the women's. Then injury, gout, that is a defective posture. Then connective tissue disease and the carpal tunnel syndrome. Carpal tunnel, that means the carpals are situated at the wrist joint. Okay, so there will be the dysfunction of the carpal muscles, that is known as a carpal tunnel syndrome. Next important thing, that is the bone fractures. So there are three types of fractures are there: simple fracture, compound fracture, and the pathological fracture. So in the simple fracture, the bone ends do not protrude through the skin. Okay, if the injury is occurring, okay, though the bones end, that means end of the bone are not coming out from the skin, that is known as a simple fracture. Next one is a compound fracture. The bone ends protrude through the skin. In the compound fracture occur because of the high injury or very serious injury to the bones. The force is like that which may cause protrusion of the ends of the bones. Okay, that is known as a compound fracture, that is a serious fracture. And next one is a pathological fracture. This fracture of a bone weakened by the disease. So pathological fracture occur because of the disease. So if you are having osteoporosis, osteomalacia, rickets, osteoarthritis, so because of the underlying disease condition, your bones are become very fragile. They are very soft and easily breakable, and because of any disease your bones are fractured, that is known as the pathological fracture. So there are three types of fracture: simple, compound, and pathological. In the simple, the ends, bone ends are not protruded out of the skin. In the compound, the ends of the bones are coming out from the skin. And the pathological fracture, it is occur because of the any underlying disease. So this is a picture of the fractures. This is the picture of simple fracture, okay, and this is a compound fracture. In the simple fracture, ends do not came out from skin, and here in the compound, ends came out from skin. You can see these all are the ends which are coming out from the skin, so that's why it is known as a compound fracture. Now we will see the healing of bone, the process of healing. So the first phase, that is a hematoma formation. Okay, if your bones are getting fractured, first thing is occurred, that is a hematoma formation. So this is the periosteum, this is the compact bone, and the blood is, you are seeing, that is known as a hematoma. The fragment of dead bones which is in the orange color, and local inflammation occur, that is a hematoma formation. Second stage, that is a callus formation. So in the callus formation, deposition of cartilage and spongy bones by the osteoblast. Okay, so when your bones are fractured, osteoblasts are activating, and that are the cartilage which are deposited at the fractured area. And dead bones and tissue fragments removed by the phagocytosis. Okay, so if you are having injury, so damage or dead cells and tissue are removed by the phagocytosis, that is the callus formation begins. The third phase comes, that is the bones and reunited. So callus formation proceed and strut the spongy bones unite the broken bones. Okay, so the third stage is the two end of the bones which is fractured that are coming together for the joint, and hematoma progressively removes, the inflammation is reduced and the bleeding is also reduced. Fourth step is recanalization and the normal bone structure regained. Okay, you can see there is a recanalization has taken place. Bones are fractured, their ends are separated, but because of this process the bones are joined together. Recanalization of medullary cavity by osteoclast and replacement of the spongy bone with new compact bone. Factors that delay healing of the fractured tissue. Okay, so which are the factors which are affecting or delaying the process of bone healing? First is a tissue fragments between the bone ends. So between the bones and if there is a presence of tissue fragments that may delay the healing of bone. Then deficient blood supply. If there is not sufficient blood in your body or the blood is not supplied in a sufficient amount to your body, that may cause delaying in the healing. Then poor alignment of the bone ends. So if the ends of the bones are poorly aligned, that may also cause delay healing. Then continued mobility of bone ends. If you are having fracture and if you are moving that extremity, so that may causing in a delay healing. So that's why if any person is having fracture, plaster of Paris is applied, POP is applied to the extremity so that we can minimize the movement level. And there are some miscellaneous other factors are also involved in the delay in fracture healing. Now the complications of fracture. If you are having fracture and if you are not consciously putting your attentions towards it, it may rise in the complications. So the complications of fracture include infection. If the site of wound, if the site of fracture are not cleaned properly, it may lead to the infection. Then fat embolism is also occur. So that's all about the skeletal system. So in this we have seen the various bones. There are mainly two systems are there in the skeletal system, axial and the appendicular. The axial system is including bones of skull, bones of face, sternum, ribs and the thoracic cage and the vertebra. And we have seen the appendicular skeletal system. So in that appendicular skeletal system we have seen the extremities, bones of the upper extremity and bones of the lower extremity. Moreover, we have seen about the important joints of the extremities like hip joint, ankle joint, knee joint, shoulder joint, elbow joint, wrist joint. Moreover, we have seen the joints of skull, face. The movements are done by the joints, which muscles are involved in that joints, and at lastly we have seen some of the alteration of the disease in the skeletal system. We have seen the disease of the joints, disease of bones, various kind of tumors and the fractures. So thank you so much.